Let's do this. So we will begin in a downward puppy shape. So you'll be on your hands and knees. And you're just going to walk your hands forward to lower your chest down towards the floor. Now that might be more of a stretch than you'd like for right now, and a block could catch your forehead. And it has several heights. Place yourself somewhere that you can just begin to feel. Feel your hands pressed into your mat, your knees touching down. Feel a length from your fingertips up to your tailbone. A stretch through your shoulders, your outer arms. Begin to breathe here. As you inhale, fill your belly, fill your chest, fill your back body, and exhale it out in one long exhale breath. Inhale into your belly. Inhale into your chest. Inhale into your back body. And exhale, one long exhale out. Continuing, inhale into your belly. Have a slight pause. Inhale into your chest. Slight pause, and then inhale fully into your back body. Find all the spaces that you can breathe into. And as you exhale, exhale and just feel your body soften. Inhale belly, inhale chest, inhale back, and exhale, let it all go. Good, two more. Inhale belly, inhale chest, inhale back body, and exhale. Last time, inhaling belly, inhaling chest, inhaling back, and exhale. Soften this back to a child's pose, just walking your hips down as low as they will go, knowing that a blanket can be placed between your calves and your thighs to give yourself a little lift if that deep knee bend is too much today. As you settle in here, just feel your breath. It's moving. It's flowing in and out. And feel it flow in naturally and flow out naturally without too much additional dialogue there. No need to restrict the breath. No need to contract the breath. No need. We're just going to be right here. Noticing the natural rhythm of your own breath. And knowing that part of our practice here is to develop a deeper, normal breath. No struggle, no strain. Just feeling the breath move in. And feeling the breath move out. In yoga, we have several bodies. And of course, this practice is so much about the physical body, but it doesn't leave out the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual self. So just as you begin to breathe a little deeper, notice your physicality. Your heart beating in your chest, your lungs expanding and contracting. Notice the compression onto your knees, onto your hips, the length in your spine. And then begin to notice as your breath calms, that your mind calms. And in this calming, we find freedom. Letting go, becoming more free with each and every breath. And as the mind calms, notice your emotional state. Feeling here. Feeling inside. You might feel quite peaceful. You might feel hopeful, happy, content. Breathe into that and set your intention for your practice today. Your next inhale breath, come up to your hands and knees, and we'll take our blocks towards the front of our mat. And they can be on lowest level, medium height, or highest. If it's a book or a can of beans, just let it be what it is. Knees underneath your hips. So just begin to flow with a nice gentle cat-cow, lifting your tail, lifting your heart. And as you exhale, feel your tailbone. Try to pull it underneath you towards the front of your mat, and then round up your spine. So when our hands are elevated away from the mat, we have a bit more range of motion in the hips because we're starting from this area of tailbone slightly lifted. And so feel here as you tuck, that you can tuck a little deeper. As you lift, feel the compression in your lower back. You're intentionally creating that compression. Round it out. And feel your core engage, your lower belly hugging in, flattening out the lower belly, lifting all the way up into your solar plexus. And as you move forward and back, just notice that. Now I know some of you are also signed up for the chakra balancing class on Wednesday. And we will be working with our sacral chakra, Svadhisthana. And in this chakra, we are working for a flow, for movement. And so here, we'll just play with some of those aspects today to get a preview of what we might be doing more of on Wednesday. 2 more like this. On this last time through, come into your cow position, belly down, heart lifted, tail up, and then accentuate that. Press down into your hands and see if you can lift your chest higher away from the mat. Pull your shoulder blades closer together. Feel your tail, see how high it can lift, and pull the belly muscles up towards the spine too. Breathe. And now tuck and round. And as you do, feel your tailbone reach towards the front of your mat. Your belly lift, your head will drop, and then feel your shoulders try to pull them back towards your hips. And feel that stretch to the top of your shoulders. Good. Come to a flat back and take your right leg, extend it back, and take it over towards the left. And just look over your left shoulder. And bend into your right knee. And let it tap down just to the outside of your left calf. And now push your seat back. Push through your hands and feel a stretch to your right hip. Coming forward, lift the right leg up and then step it forward into a lunge shape. Now we're going to take this back leg and pivot it so that you're now in this knee lunge facing the left side of your mat. And just start to move here, bending into your right knee and coming out of it. Starting to stretch into the inner thighs, into the groin. And feeling that movement of joints. Good. And if you would like, you can add on by taking your arms out in your warrior bee shape. And you can see that this is a little bit like your warrior bee, right? And we're going to add on by taking it back and just dropping the left hand down. Stretch your right arm up overhead and lift your ribs as high towards your ceiling as you can. Now start to bend into your right knee, float your arms back up and take it forward. Reach it back, touch your left fingertips down, stretch. And bring it back. 2 more. Inhaling. And exhaling. Once more. Inhale. And exhale. Hold it here. Turn your palms to face up if you've extended your arms. And feel like you have a platter on each hand. Breathe here. Good. And then just touch your fingertips on down to the earth, right in front of your mat. Tuck your back toes, and then just start to straighten through that leg. Keep your right leg like it is. You'll feel a stretch to your inner thigh. Keep it gentle enough so your knees can be as bent as you need. Try not to push too much weight back. And then lower the right knee back down. Walk it over, your left knee back down. Walk it over to your left and reach up and over and hold this stretch. Let your right arm sweep down, forward, and up. Take some big circles here. And reverse your rotation. The next time that your arm is up to the sky, hold it there. Reach your fingertips skyward, pull your belly in and come up, and take it over to the other side. Beginning to open into the left side body. Just take a look down here. Pull your chin slightly closer in towards your throat, and you'll feel a stretch to the back of your neck. Keep that engagement of chin in towards the throat. Just look up towards your left elbow. Keep it drawn in and look back down at your right leg. Bring it up. Let your right toes be facing forward and then into your adjusted warrior V. Modified here with the back knee down. Stretch through your ring fingers. Feel like you're pressing down onto countertops for 3, 2, and 1. Just take your hands on down. Now pivot your back knee and bring right knee to match the left. Take 2 of your nice slow cat-cows here as you lift your tail, lift your heart, pull your shoulders away from your ears. And as you exhale, tuck and round. Good, inhaling. And exhale, tuck and round. And as you're rounding, hold this rounded shape. Push through your hands, send your seat back down towards your heels. Your hands can stay up on your blocks to help stretch your shoulders deeper, or you can take them off to the sides. Let it be a little more relaxed of a child's pose. One more breath here. As you inhale, coming up to hands and knees, lift your left leg back behind you. We're going to take it over to the right. As you take your toes down to the earth, look back over your right shoulder, feel it stretch, deepening. Start to bend into your left knees, gonna tap down right outside of your right calf. And now you can pull the right hip back and you'll get that stretch into your outer hip. Weight rolling towards the inside of your right knee, lift the left leg up and step it forward. Pivot your right foot back and windmill yourself up into this lunge shape here. And we're just gonna move into and out of. And know that option of having hands onto hips is always available to you. And feel the stretch into the inner thighs. And there's definitely some strength, right, to hold you up. Two more like this. Now we're gonna add on. Reach it forward. And then come back, touch right hand down, stretch left arm up overhead. Bend into your left knee. Let your arms stretch forward. And then take it back. Moving with your breath, keeping your core engaged. We'll hold this one, right hands touching down, left arm stretching up and over. Feel how long you can get from your hip through your fingertips, from your hip down to your toes. Press left rib cage up. Good, and then just let left arm drop down, reach back, up, down, reach back. Oh, yeah. And let's reverse that rotation. And the next time that your hands reaching up towards your ceiling, hold it there. Press the earth away from you. Good, and then start to bend into that knee. Come back to your warrior B feel. Nice. And straighten through your left. Reach your right arm up and over. And feel how your stretch is more waistband and hip with the knee bent. As you bend into your left knee, touch your fingertips down, and tuck your back toes, and press it back into this odd-shaped downward facing dog. I think I just did that out of order, but that's okay. We're getting it all in. As you touch your right knee back down, walk your hands back over to your left foot. Hands onto your blocks, step it back. Lift your heart, lift your tail. And exhale, tuck and round it out. And do that once more, inhaling to lift the heart, lift the tail, pull your shoulders further away from your ears. And exhale. Exhale it all out. Keep rounding, lifting belly to spine. Press back through your hands. Send your seat down to your heels into your child's pose. Hands can stay on your blocks, or hands can rest to the sides of your blocks. Your next inhale breath, come back to hands and knees. Hands onto your blocks, that'll be super helpful here. Feel your tailbone, reach it underneath you, round it out. And then as you lift your tail, start to come forward. Get shoulders up over your wrists, and then just let your hips start to sink down. Bring it back, round into your back. And then feel your body hedging forward, and shoulders, push them back and down. Press through and lift your belly to lift your hips back. Round it out. And come forward and feel that back bend deepening as you let your hips sink downward. 2 more. Round here, feel your engagement. And then lower hips down, pull shoulders back and down. Last time, round it here. And come forward, those shoulders back and down. Press through your hands. Come back onto your hands and knees. Find your right leg, extend it back behind you. And take it over to your left. And look over your left shoulder. So we've been here before. Feel your left hip, try to pull it back, and your right hip will edge forward and out towards the right, and that will deepen your stretch. Bend into your right knee, and as you touch your knee down to the outside of your left calf, now push your left hip back, your right hip forward, stretch your outer left hip. Weight to the inside of your left knee, lift your right leg up behind you, and exhale, step it forward into your lunge. Now we're going to keep the back knee just as it is on this one, taking more of a low crescent lunge shape, feeling your hips settling down. And you want this to be a stretch, but you don't want it to be an overstretch. We're going to stay engaged by pushing down behind the right big toe, and on the inside of your right heel in particular. And then feel the space right between your pinky toe and the next toe in. See if you can ground down a little bit there into the outside of your right heel. push your right foot through the earth. Now feel your back leg. Your back leg is so engaged that your knee can almost lift, but it doesn't need to. Feel how strong your legs are, and take an interlaced grip up onto your right knee. Use that interlaced grip to help push your shoulders back. Keep lifting belly up towards the spine. Shoulders back and down. You set an intention for your practice today, so if you can feel it in these active postures, you are one step closer to finding what it is you're looking for in every moment, every day. And keeping your right hand where it is, just taking your left arm, reach it up, and then seeing if maybe you can lean your shoulders back more. As you come forward, touch both hands down and bring your weight back over your left knee. Just straighten through your right. Keep your right toes grounded down here for a moment to get a stretch to the top of your foot. Now you've got a micro bend in your knees so that you're not over straightening, over stretching, and pushing some pressure into that joint that's not so good to be headed in that direction. Feel your tail lift up. Feel your shoulders draw down. And then just lift your toes and feel the ball of your foot still pressed down and away from you. And that stretch is still happening. And then we might flex through the foot. And know that any of these shapes are a-okay. Just no dumping into the knees. So keep that micro bend. That's safe for your hamstrings, for your knee joint. It's safe for your lower back. For when we overstretch the hamstrings, it tugs on the sacrum. And we're doing an asymmetrical stretch right now, so it means it's tugging one side more than it is the other. We want to take good care of ourselves. Now we have 3 heads to the hamstrings, and I want to stretch all 3. So from here, take your hands towards the inside of your right leg, and then start to walk them over to your left. And you might feel that stretch shifting. And then walk them back. And take your right hand to the outside of your right foot. Left hand might touch down to the outside of your right ankle or calf. Walk it back. One hand on either side of your foot. Come back into your low lunge. Let's tuck the back toes. Lift the back knee and feel that engagement. You have some weight still onto your hands, onto your blocks that you're calling for there. Keep some of that weight. And then just lift up your right toes. Maybe even the ball of your foot. Now push your heel more into the mat. And then lower your foot down and see if you become more engaged. Pivot your back foot. And take your left hand to your left hip. Unwind. And drop the back knee down. So we're going to do that again, and that's going into a pretty deep side angle stretch. So maybe the blocks on a higher level would be helpful. Pressing down, lift up your back knee. And we want to feel that engagement in the legs. So I want you to lift up your right toes, maybe even the ball of your foot. That might not lift, and that's okay. Push your heel deeper into the earth and feel all your hamstrings working. And then as you lay the ball of your foot and your toes back down, press, pivot, and take your left hand to your left hip. Unwind. Lower the back knee down and let it just be a stretch. Ooh, yeah. That feels pretty good. Now, if you're working with blocks, bring both of them to the inside of your right foot. Lift up your back knee. And then we're just gonna walk it into a wide-legged forward fold position. Hands are underneath your shoulders. Toes are narrower than your heels, so check them out. And I want you to feel the inside edge of both of your feet and try to press down into it. So it's gonna feel like your inner thighs are trying to hug in towards one another. And they are. And then feel the outer edges of your feet and engage those as well. So you haven't lost the engagement of the inner thighs, but now you've taken your entire legs into contraction. Lift your tail, lift your heart. Good, as little weight as you can onto your blocks here, making your core work. Nice, with those blocks, walk it over to your left foot. Drop your right knee down. And just feel yourself here, sinking into this lunge shape. Feel your left heel pressing down. The space behind your left big toe pressing down. Feel the space between your pinky toe and your next toe in, grounding. And then the outer edge of your left heel grounding. Taking the top of your right foot, press it down, and now notice how engaged you can become. Your knee might even feel like it's gonna lift. And now use that engagement to bring your hands onto your left knee. Work into what feels like a good stretch, not an overstretch. And quite a bit of engagement, hugging inner thighs in, roll those shoulders back and down. Remind myself as much as I'm reminding you as you reach your right arm up, you might lean your shoulders back. And bring hands down onto your blocks, work your way back. And you've got that micro bend in your left knee. All 5 of your left toes are grounding down and you're just feeling your tail lift towards your ceiling. Roll your shoulders away from your ears. And see about lifting your left toes. That might be more than you would like. You can keep those toes grounded. You might lift the ball of your foot. Wherever you are, you're keeping that micro bend behind the knee, protecting your hamstrings, your knee joint, and your lower back. Breathe. Let your exhale breaths carry away any tension, any thought patterns that are no longer serving you. Good, so you can have your foot flexed, you can have the ball of your foot touching down, whatever feels best to you. Both hands will walk to the inside and then off to your right in order to get the 3 heads of the hamstrings to stretch. Breathe here. Creating freedom in those hamstrings. And then that physical freedom occurs and the mental freedom also follows suit. There's less for us to be very much focused on. The body feels good. And so walk it on over. Left hand to the outside, right hand might follow. And just hug your left hip back. Right hip will pull forward. As you bring it back to center, walk it forward, you're back in your lunge. You can have your blocks on whatever height is best for you for this side angle experience as you tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. Pivot. Left hand's gonna stay on your block. Just take your right hand to your right hip. Open shoulder over shoulder, hip over hip. And unwind. And sink the hips down. So we have one more like that. Lifting the back knee. Pivoting the back foot. Right hand to right hip. Press your left hand down onto your block. And as you unwind, bring both blocks to the inside of your left foot. Walk it into your wide-legged body shape. Keep this straddle foot position, toes narrower than your heels. Now bend into your knees. Lift your tailbone higher. And then start to let your spine drop down towards the earth. Now your knees can stay quite bent, and that's creating strength. It's also protecting your hamstrings and your lower back, your groin. So you can keep the knees as bent as you like. You can use your blocks to rest your hands onto, or maybe even your forearms. If your blocks are on a higher height, the forearms might be more accessible. And you can let this be a more passive stretch. The legs are working, but the legs aren't working too hard. The spine is heavy, and the head is heavy. And we just let the weight of the world drip right off the shoulders. Two more breaths here. Good, and then coming up, weight into your hands, pivot your toes outward, your heels inward, and begin to bend into your knees here. Rest your right elbow onto your right thigh, your left onto your left, and now just let your hips start to get real heavy. And you could even sway side to side. That feels pretty good to the inner thighs. Feel your shoulders. Let them be relaxed and away from the ears. And stay static for a moment. Opening the knees towards the outer blades of your feet. Feeling your hips heavy for 3. Last 2. One more breath here. And let your hands touch down onto your blocks, straighten through your legs. Turn your toes narrow, your heels wider, and forward fold. You might find that there's a little more availability now with the groin stretched. Let your head be heavy. Shake it out. Let your shoulders be relaxed. Wiggle them out. Let your jaw be relaxed. Your tongue. Breathe here. Begin to come up, spine parallel to the earth. Walk it back over to your right foot. Find your low lunge shape. And then just step the right knee back to meet the left. Good. So we're going to take the left leg, stretch it back. And then take the left foot all the way over to your right. So we're backing out of this. Look over your right shoulder. Pull your right hip back, left hip forward. And then touch your left knee to the outside of your right calf and keep pulling your right hip back. Keep pulling your right hip back, stretch it here. And with weight into your right knee, bring the left knee back. Blocks can go off to the side. Come on down to your belly. Bring your hands underneath your forehead. Stacked hands. So you're going to super glue your hands together, but they're not super glued to your mat. Neither are your elbows. Your head's going to become super glued to your hands. Your legs are going to be about hip distance, maybe even a little wider. And now press through your legs. You'll feel your kneecaps lift up, and then you'll have space to pull your tailbone towards your heels, lifting belly up. Hands, head, elbows, chest, lift up. And lower it down. Keep your legs engaged, and lift the spine. And lower it down. Can you let your head actually be heavy onto your hands? And lower it down. Lifting, legs engaged, and lower. 2 more. Inhaling up, and exhale it down. The last one, inhaling up. And as you exhale, exhale and let it all release to the mat. Feel the weightedness in your thighs. Your belly pressing into the earth as you breathe. Your head heavy onto your hands. Your collarbones weighted down towards your earth. Breathe here. And slide hands underneath your shoulders. We're going to do a little bit of that same type of work, letting your legs become engaged first, tail towards your heels. Now lift up. Hold the lift though. Drop your head and pull your shoulder blades closer together. And then lower it down. Touch your forehead down. Lift right back up. Legs are engaged. Drop your head to squeeze your shoulder blades closer together. And lower it down. Lift the chest, press weight down to your feet. Drop your head, squeeze your shoulder blades closer together, and lower it down. Inhale, lift up. Squeeze the shoulder blades closer together as you drop your head, and lower it down. 2 more just like that. Inhale, lift up. Drop your head to squeeze shoulder blades together and down towards your hips. And lower it down. Try to get your shoulders farther away from your ears as you lift and squeeze. Stack your hands, opposite hand on top as you lay your forehead down, crocodile pose. Bend into your knees and just let your shins be like windshield wipers, right and left. Touching your feet down to the earth. Press your hands underneath your shoulders. Round all the way up through your cat stretch into a child's pose. That should feel good to your lower back. Coming up to hands and knees. We're going to come onto our back, and if you have a belt, a scarf, a strap at home, we'll use it. If you don't have one, you can use your hands. You just won't have as much of a reach, and that's okay. We can work with it. Don't worry about that. As you come onto your back, bring your knees up towards your chest. And so now you're in this child's pose shape, but you're laying on your back. There's no pressure onto your knees, onto your hips. You can feel your lower back pressing into the earth. You're going to take that strap and put it around your right foot. Take your right leg up towards the ceiling, and then the sole of your left foot is just going to touch down onto the earth. So if you don't have a strap, you're gonna hold above the knee to give yourself some assistance with the weight of your leg. You're gonna let the leg come forward towards your right shoulder, out towards the right. It's gonna sweep all the way in front and then back up. Make these big, huge circles. Once more in this direction. And as you bring your leg up this time, see if you can draw it closer to you, hamstring stretch. So with the left knee bent like it is and your lower back flush to the mat, you might have more access to those right hamstrings. You could give your leg a little tug. And then we're going to take the strap, or you can hold behind the thigh, lower the leg out, bring it out to the right, and then back up. You can hold the strap with your right hand or your left, wherever you feel most comfortable. Two more big circles here. And the next time that your leg is stretching up towards the ceiling, again, you can give it that tug. And then open it out to the right. Your left knee will angle out to the left in opposition. Keep your left shoulder down. You might even stretch your left arm out to the left. And feel the stretch to your right inner thighs. Push your foot away from you. And inhale the leg up. Cross your right leg over your left. Unbind from that strap. And just hug your knees up towards your chest. So you're in a reclined cow face pose shape, Gomukhasana. As you hug your left knee in towards your body, you'll feel the stretch to your right hip deepen. And you can continue to hold just below the left knee, or you could slide your hands down towards your ankles. Flex through your feet and draw your ankles closer to your body. Keep a hold of your right, but let your left foot touch back down. Let your right ankle slide to just on top of your thigh. Stretch your arms out and gentle twist. As you take your right foot, it will ground down. Your outer left thigh will ground down. Your right hip will elevate, but your shoulders will stay grounded. Flex to your left foot, palms face down, bring the left knee back up, and place the right foot down onto the earth. Take a hold of that strap, and let's bring it onto the ball of your left foot. And stretch the leg up towards the ceiling. And you're holding onto that strap or holding onto your leg. Open it out to the left, sweep it down, and bring it up. On this side, I get a lot of crunchies in my hip. So if you're hearing some popping, you might have the same. That's just rolling over some fascia, the tissues. If there's any pain, then we don't want to do that, right? And so modify, make your circles smaller until you have no pain. We never really want any pain ever in our lives, right? We tend to hold on to some of our pain because it's familiar to us. Once more like this. And draw your leg closer to you. And let's take that into the opposite direction. So lower the legs straight forward, open out to the left, and then bring it up. Good. Oh, it feels so good to the hips. 2 more. Last time. And take that hamstring stretch if it feels good to you, knowing that that knee can stay quite bent here. We don't want to lock out the knee. Feel your heel press away from you. Breathe into it. Good. Open it out to the left. Your right knee will angle out and you're getting a nice rolling stretch, adductor stretch. Press through to bring the leg up. Take that strap on off, cross the left ankle or left knee over the right knee, and then hug your knees up towards your chest. So you can hold right below the right knee, interlaced hands. Feel that stretch to your left hip. Both shoulders still down. Watch and see if you can get your shoulders to pull further away from your ears and the base of your skull. And some of you might enjoy taking a hold of the ankles. Flex through your feet. That protects your knees as you hug your feet closer towards the mat. Good, and release. Lower the feet down to the earth. Take a hold of your bolster. And place it right underneath your thighs, close to your seat. As it supports your upper thighs, there'll be a little less pressure onto the hips. If you enjoy having a pillow of sorts, a blanket can be quite nice here. Just slide it underneath the base of your skull. Let your arms be stretched out, shoulders through fingertips, shoulder blades towards one another and down towards your hips. Begin here to just breathe into your belly. Feel the effects of your practice. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears, your chest expand. Let your jaw relax. Take your attention to your lower belly. And feel right in the bowl of your pelvis, a softness. This is where Svadhisthana, our sacral chakra, resides. When we find that we have trouble with our lower back, when we have trouble with our sexuality, This chakra can be quite blown or quite restricted. Just know and oftentimes when we do have imbalances in Svadhisthana, we also have some imbalances in our throat chakra, the ability to speak our truth. If you find that you have tightness in your jaw, the need to clear your throat, those are signs that our throat chakra might be out of balance. And the first place we look then is down into Svadhisthana. Breathe here into your lower belly. You might imagine a bright orange light shining right out of your lower belly. And feel free to flow with your breath. As your body softens more and more with each exhale, feel the movement of energy in your body. And in this softness, insert your intention so that it might meld more into each and every one of your cells as you are open, accepting of this beautiful energy in your intention. You are welcome to rest here for as long as you like. When it is your time to move about in a way that shows compassion for you. Thank you for allowing me to lead you in this practice. Namaste.